Hello everybody, here, and I'm here with Reverend.
What up?
And today we're going on r/entitled parents as per request of my friends. This might be a fun little small video to do, I figured. Yeah, just something kind of chill out to, easier to edit,
And
just to
make
get
fun of
something
people over the
out.
internet.
So, start with this first one. My dad ignored our birthday, so we ignored his. My parents were getting older and expressed their desire for continuing to live in their home. My brothers and I decided to pool money together and make elder-friendly modifications to their home to make that possible. During the planning and saving up, my husband took measurements of the bathroom to be able to make a better calculation of cost. And that's when my parents lost it. They accused him of trying to steal their house from them and said he is only wanting the measurements for an advertisement to sell it. What a fucking leap in logic. Oh my god. Had this been the first time my parents came up with some BS, I would have been concerned. But it wasn't, so I simply said stop being ridiculous. They got up in flames and started insulting my husband, calling him a thief, a liar, and a burglar. Somehow measuring the bathroom is the same as violent robbery, and so on. So I told them they can cut their crap or I am out and they are on their own. They told me that I am pathetic, useless, fat, stupid, a whore, yada yada. Oh my god. Get new parents, bro.
On God.
Also, this is not the first time. To be honest, I did not get angry because it's just how they are, but I stopped calling them or helping them. When the birthdays of me and my family rolled around, my parents didn't write a message and didn't gratulate. They told my brothers I am dead to them and that liar I married can drop dead too. Then my middle school child started school. My daughter wrote and sent them a card she made to invite them. They decided not to come and did not call her or send a card or anything like that. Oh my god. This is just a subreddit to make us angry.
I know, right?
They ignored her and she was hurt by it, so when my father's birthday rolled around, we also did not call and did not send a gift. I asked my kids if they want to make a recording and sing happy birthday or something, they declined, telling me their grandparents never call or send anything, and now they also do not want to call or send anything, which is fine by me, but I do have some common courtesy, so I wrote my dad, happy birthday, I hope you have a wonderful day and a delicious cake, best regards. My dad replied, funny, it was a horrible day, none of you ungrateful kids came by to visit, nobody called me, nobody sent gifts, I am deeply ashamed of my so-called kids, and wished I never had any at all. From now on, I will stop celebrating as my life is worthless to you and you bring me nothing but pain and shame. Oh my god, that is
Good
like
God.
some major guilt tripping right there. Holy.
Honestly, narcissism 101.
Like, the world's not about you, Dad, come on. I know this game. I'm supposed to feel horrible and cheer him up and beg for forgiveness and so on, but somewhere along the way, I lost my ability to care. I am simply unbothered by him. So I replied, hey dad, you should try out lavender tea or take a walk. This might help with your mood swings. According to my brother, he is on full mode rage, which made me giggle.
That'd make me giggle
Oh,
too.
oh man. So, moral of the story is your parents are self-centered a-holes.
Exactly.
And, oh man, that is crazy. I'd get new parents, honestly. My homophobic mom against LGBT group and I refuse to help. Oh boy, this one should be an interesting one. So, the thing about my mom is that she is a very traditional Muslim woman.
Oh boy.
Last night before her flight back home, we went to my friend's restaurant, which she is the owner of. My friend regularly hosts drag nights, one of which was last night. I mean, I also perform in drag sometimes, so I find this quite fun. Anyways, my mom was there and she made comment after comment after comment. One of those comments was heard clearly by one particular queen who was, in fact, trans. She absolutely blew up on my mother, calling her a homophobe, saying she is what's wrong with today's society. My mom defended her words, stating that all trans people should be lined up and beheaded for even— oh my god.
Good God.
Beheaded? Jesus, for even thinking of switching their genders because that's what God made them be and they should accept it. Alright, first off, that's what God made them be. You know, I don't even know where to begin on that one, holy. This led to a verbal brawl between my mom and several other patrons, calling my mom some words I can't say here. I just sat on the table as my mom was getting ripped apart. She turned to me asking for help, and I said to her, I warned you this was going to happen. This city/country is very open, and I warned you that I will not come to your defense if you're caught saying insensitive things. You made this bed, now lie in it. Okay, pretty... Yeah, you don't want to defend her. That's pretty reasonable. The night ended pretty sour and my mom wouldn't speak to me until the airport. She involved the other members of the family and it was mixed to mainly my side. My mom just doesn't listen and we warned her that she will one day piss off the wrong person and it happened. The city I live in is also a high population of Muslims, but as far as I can see there is not really much bad blood. Muslims here just mind their business, adjusting and all that. So I really cannot understand my mom's blatant homophobic remarks when I warned her several times that this was going to bite her in the ass someday. TLDR, my mom got her ass handed to her for outspeaking her homophobic thoughts about LGBT people or trans people for the most part. I sat there making her aware of my warning but refused to help her defend her as I am LGBT and this needed to happen to her.
Damn.
Oh man. You know, some people are just way too stuck in their old values in a changing world. It's sad to see. Some people just refuse to let people live their lives.
Mm-hmm.
I think this comment said though best. Your mother was enacted her freedom of speech. The Queens and company were enacted their legal reaction to that freedom of speech. I believe it's the fuck around find out act of always. As always, fuck around find out. Need to get that on a shirt.
Honestly.
Actually, I think I have a shirt of that. Wanting to move out. For some context, I am an 18 female Muslim girl. My family is pretty conservative and it's impossible to do anything without being questioned. Yeah, that seems to be a common case. Lots of, like, overbearing parents in that.
Mm-hmm.
I will admit that my family, like my parents, aren't the most conservative, and I am allowed to go out and be my own person. Like, I have a job and friends and go to school, etc. It's the little things that they are really conservative on that makes me feel like I'm trapped in a glass house. For example, I have been a hijabi since the 5th grade, and I have been wanting to take it off since 6th grade. If I were to take it off, all hell would break loose, especially with my ultra-religious and conservative extended family. Specifically for my uncles and grandma. Yeah, that seems to be like a common thing, lots of like religious values being pushed on children that,
Yep.
you know, not necessarily always needs to be pushed down because you should let people decide what they want to believe in. I think that's the freedom we should have to believe in what we want.
True, true.
I'm in community college right now as it was much cheaper, but I plan to transfer to a 4-year. Originally, my plan was to go to the university in my city and commute there while living at home. The reason for this was because my father had a huge fight when my older sister tried to move out of state for college. Like, she was miserable. The manipulation was crazy and he said he'd rather her be a college dropout and get married than move out of state. Oh my god.
Huh.
Okay, I feel like I missed a whole chapter here. I hate confrontation, so I was just going to push through for 2 years in uni, but recently my mom has been talking about my grandma moving back in with us, which I genuinely wouldn't be able to live with. Like, if she moves back in, my life would be miserable. I wouldn't be able to go out, I wouldn't be able to have a life as my uncles would also be over 24/7. My life would just suck. I just want to have the freedom to be my own person and live my own life. It's hard to find friends as well because I'm expected to help with the family business at no compensation, and then also juggle school and another job. All in all, I'm at the point where I want to start making a plan to move out. I think the best way to go about it is to transfer to a university abroad and say it is just a study abroad program. I'm not even sure they'd let me go study abroad, but at this point, if I were to attempt to transfer to any out-of-state schools, I'd be cooked. I will also start saving so I can prepare myself. If you were me, what would you do? TLDR, I have conservative Muslim parents who would rather me be a dropout than move out. What would I do? I would honestly, and this is just coming from my experience, I'd be like, bye.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds
Like,
about the
bye-bye.
same thing I do.
Like, at some point, you just kind of gotta live your own life. Like, You know, your parents brought you into this world, and that's awesome. Parents should get the love and respect they deserve, but they should also give it back by, once you reach a certain age, you should have your own freedom. You should be able to be your own person, and everyone should be expected to fly out of the nest someday.
Exactly, exactly.
Alright, this one seems like it might be interesting. Hello, so recently I, 21F, have moved out with my husband, 19 male, in another city 2 hours and 30 minutes away from my old place. My mom and stepdad bought a house a few years ago that is 1 hour and 30 away from here. We lived before. They bought a house for vacations but ended up living there most of the time. I bought a house for vacation. Oh my god, these people are rich.
Rich motherfucker.
In this economy? I met the love of my life and I wanted and still want to live my life with him, and now we live together. I told my mom and stepdad about him, but they haven't met him yet. I only saw a picture of our wedding. I didn't invite my mom because I wanted to have a good time free with friends. Okay, not inviting your mom to the wedding. Okay, that's giving me a good idea of what your parents are like already.
Mm-hmm.
It might be weird, but I really don't feel comfortable showing him to my mom because I don't know how she will react, and also that I simply don't care. My stepdad was the one who had the idea of me going to live with him, and then my mom supported that it's the best thing I could do to be with him and for my hair classes. 1 month into living together, and it's like my mom wants to control Okay, here we go. Mom's the problem.
Yep.
Starting with jobs that she found for him close from her house that is 1 hour and 30 minutes away from my hometown. She sends job offers for approximately 3 weeks for him and me. For 1 week straight, she was sending me paragraphs about everything and nothing, also constantly asking random questions to have a conversation with me after I told her multiple times to leave me alone and stop invading me. I cannot live more than a full day without her texting me. I'm feeling watched, invaded, and I feel that I cannot go to wherever I want without her invading my personal space. To me, it's very strange because she was already far from me 3 years ago in their new house, and the day I move out, she wants me to come back and can't let me go. Now I want to move to Mexico with my husband because he already has a whole house there. And since we could work a few months here and save a lot of money to live even better there, and also for the heat and fresh air for both of us, everything is so expensive here. Well, I'm feeling that.
Oh, yeah.
I feel that our life is just living to pay the rent, eat, and barely have money to go to a restaurant and buying treats. For my part, I would want to move to Mexico to live better there. At the end, I feel that I cannot do what I want and she doesn't want me to go far from her, and she's just stuck in her when I was a baby phase, and she cannot let me grow up and live my life with my husband. Yes, it's a far, but my stepdad has enough money to buy almost any house he wants in Mexico. Now it's on them. TLDR, I want to move to Mexico with my husband, but my emotionally dependent mom would never let me, and it's making me hide a lot of things from her.
Definitely a very controlling person.
It sounds like it, I mean, I get wanting to be in your child's life and everything. That's a very reasonable thing to want. I think any parent would want that, but you also kind of got to give space, too, once you get to a certain age, because otherwise you're just going to come off as overbearing.
Yep.
Honestly, I would just hide it, move to Mexico, and then once she finally wonders what's going on, I'll be like, yeah, I had to get away from you. My entitled aunt robbed my great-grandma of a few... Oh, boy.
Interesting.
Oh, this one's a biggie. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's been nearly 9 months since everything went down, but I'm still pissed off about it. So my great aunt, EA for entitled aunt, has never been the most pleasant person to be around. She's cunning, headstrong, and just flat out mean. That being said, she was a well-respected member of our family for several years. Then she used to work at a successful law firm well before I was even born. She was fairly well off, all things considered. Nice house, nice car, that works. Me and my family wouldn't see her often, but she was a decent person when we were around. That is, until late 2022. It was discovered that EA had been found guilty of professional misconduct. The law firm, and as a result... Okay, she was found guilty of professional misconduct at the law firm. And as a result, she was disbarred. The life she had worked for came crumbling down on top of her, and she'd just lost about everything. So she decided to move in with my great-grandma, only a few blocks away from my house. Now, my great-grandmother was a lovely woman. She was the type of person that would give her last penny to a homeless person. We love grandmas. However, she was 95 at the time and her dementia was starting to worsen. So when EA moved in, my family just assumed that she was there to be a caretaker for my great-grandma. And to an extent, she was, albeit not a very good one. EA's true colors started to show after she started remodeling my great-grandma's house. My father's a carpenter, so he was asked to help with the remodeling. He begrudgingly accepted since he didn't have a job and needed the money. We're by no means a poor family, but keeping the income steady isn't always easy. Well, tell me about it. While helping with the house, my father would witness EA mistreating my great-grandma on a constant... Oh, no.
Oh.
Not grandma. Only verbal abuse from what I can recall. Since she still fed and bathed her, seeing this made my dad very angry. To make matters worse, the remodeling was constantly stressing my great-grandma out, though EA could not be bothered to give half of a fuck. Why are you remodeling when it's not your house? That's the real question, like...
She wants the money. She wants everything she
What?
has.
Like, just imagine, you're letting your child come in after she just lost everything, she lost her job out of the kindness of your heart, because you couldn't bear it to see your child go homeless. And then your child starts changing your life around, verbally berating you, and remodeling your house. That is like... Oh, that makes me angry just reading it.
Oh, yeah.
Towards the latter half of 2023, I tried my hardest to stay away from EA, only going around her if it meant visiting my great-grandma. We knew that she'd pass on eventually, but when it would happen was a guessing game. We thought the funeral was all planned out. My great-grandma told my mom on multiple occasions that when she did eventually pass away, she didn't want a big funeral, just family and friends. And she wanted to be buried next to her husband, my great-grandpa. Apparently, EA had different... Oh no. Upon passing, she wanted to bury my great-grandma straight away in a concrete box. No funeral, no visitation, no...
Good lord.
Brother in Christ, that is your mother!
No soul.
Just shoved in a box and put in the ground. My family was livid, to say the least. It's also worth noting that my great-grandma made the mistake of making EA the power of attorney, which in my home state trumps the deceased party's will. Well before she passed. Essentially, EA had all this power and my family could do nothing but try to bargain with her. Here's where the shitstorm begins. So that's just the fucking setup, oh my lord.
That's just sad.
After several lengthy discussions, my grandma eventually convinced EA to at least bury my great-grandma in a coffin instead of a concrete box. Unfortunately, she couldn't convince her to arrange a proper funeral. Why? In late February earlier this year, my great-grandma passed away at the age of 96. My mom and I were lucky enough to say our final goodbyes to her shortly before she passed. I was apparently the last person to say goodbye to her as she passed away 15 minutes after I left. Unfortunately, some of my other family members didn't get to say goodbye. My grandparents and EA agreed to do the burial in early March at around 11 a.m. That way we could all say our goodbyes, then immediately get some lunch afterwards. EA buried my great-grandma an hour and a half early. My grandpa never got to say goodbye to his own mother because my EA claimed that the buriers wanted to get it out of the way, when in reality she just wanted to save money. My dad and grandpa didn't end up going to lunch afterwards, and honestly, I don't blame them. EA's basically dead to us now. Jesus, what a bitch.
Evil, selfish bitch.
I am so fucking pissed off. I'm almost 99% sure EA altered my great-grandma's will while she was still alive so she'd be able to keep as much of her money as possible after she died. Oh, 100%. It's at the end of the day coming down to narcissism, like, oh, well, it's me, everything revolves around me. Unfortunately, there's no way to prove that she actually did, and we can't make a case against her. To add a cherry on top of this heaping pile of shit, my mom paid one of the local funeral homes to publish cards to let everyone know about my great-grandma's passing. She was fairly well known in the community, but a few days after passing the cards out to local businesses, EA went around collecting the cards because they go against Grandma's will. I have no idea what she did with the cards, but my guess is that she threw them away. As I mentioned earlier, it's been nearly 9 months since this all went down, but I will forever carry a deep resentment towards EA for how she treated my great-grandma. Mistreating and manipulating an old woman with dementia is straight up evil, and I'm glad EA is no longer in my life.
Straight to hell.
Oh man, that's... oh. Definitely going to hell, that's 100% sure, ain't...
Ninth
That
layer.
is 100% self-centered behavior. Well, I don't know what kind of main character syndrome she has, but that's just make your entire family hate you 101 right there.
Exactly.
Okay, and am I the asshole one? This should be interesting. Am I the asshole for refusing to talk to my mom when I'm forced to visit her, ignoring her? Context, I, female 15, am refusing to actively talk to my mom, and I'm ignoring her when I'm forced to see her. Oh, okay, I got a feeling mom's gonna be the problem here.
Uh-huh.
2 months ago, a Friday, my mom, female 39, got arrested for assaulting her boyfriend, male 38, and his kid. The kid was bleeding all along his back, and there was Jesus. My brother, male 12, called the cops, and when they responded, they automatically arrested my mom. She actually knew the guy who was arresting her. She got fired from the jail she originally worked for, W jail in our town, but she got fired, so she went to JC jail. She was in jail for less than 24 hours. She got bailed out by Gigi, her adoptive mom. She then started texting me long-ass paragraphs, mostly guilt-tripping, love-bombing, and gaslight, gatekeep girl boss, I guess. She was staying at Aunt Angie's, Gigi's sister, that was a mouthful, who also works at the jail. The night it happened, my dad, male 39, he is now 40. My mom hates Amber, F36, my stepmom. She is amazing, and she is also a practicing pagan. They also have the same name, Amber, so Amber is pretty and blunt. Perfect for my dad, who is soft-spoken but very determined. They have been my rocks through all of this, including my boyfriend, male 15, and my best friend, female 15. My brother went back with my mom, and she deleted photos and videos of my camera. I had took pictures of the kids' injuries and had gotten a very muffled recording of the whole thing. She essentially started to make fun of me for getting angry at her. She also brought up how I tried to kill myself a few nights before it went down. I had 8
Oh.
I have hurt myself before, but that was when I was 11 to 12 due to my parents' divorce, and I was dating my ex-girlfriend who was encouraged me to hurt myself with her.
Oh. Good lord.
My mom has also lost her job at Meridian. She was a social worker. I don't know how her job right now is. She is getting charged with 4 separate things, including her hitting me and busting my lip. Jesus. She has been acting crazy when I'm there, and if I say no, my dad could go to jail. Update, I hate this year, so this year, sucked as above, but literally, what the fuck life. This is the reason I'm not a Christian, because if God was real, he would have helped. No hate against the Christians, my boyfriend is a Christian, I am a pagan/theistic Satanist.
Oh.
So basically this year, in summary, a tornado went through our town, destroying multiple homes and injuring a pastor, which he later died due to his injuries. A kid at my school killed himself, my mom got arrested, my teacher died from colon cancer. My boyfriend's cousin claimed his uncle SA'd her when he was jailed, and he was jailed, unknown if this is true because no idea if they actually did a rape kit. I have to see my mom. My boyfriend grandmother's house caught on fire. His grandmother and grandpa are in the hospital right now. His cousin Miko is unharmed, was the only one that could walk out fine. Prepared with the knowledge you strangers have given me, I will face my mom in 2 days' time, so wish me the best wishes that I could ask for. I fucking hate this year, thank you, strangers.
Well, that's a fucking mess of a family. For one. Good
yeah.
Lord.
For 2, just what a fucking shitty year, obviously. Just shitty situation overall. Mom seems like a bitch, I mean... assaulting her boyfriend and his kid, like, what the fuck? That's, whew.
Oh boy.
I don't even know what to say about that one.
Me neither. There's a lot there to unpack, but I'm not gonna.
Not the asshole. Bluff or kicking your child out. Oh boy. Oh,
That's tiny.
yeah. Mother destroys son's hopes for the future. Always with the moms, I swear to God.
Women,
This is a
man.
sh- this is a short one without any dialogue, as it is a story relayed to me with none of the interactions detailed. My family have been working as invigilators, exam supervisors for the state's education department for years. My mom does it, my sister does it, my ex-wife did it. It only comes up for 2.5 weeks per year, as they are only needed for the end-of-year exams for those in their final year of school. This year I got roped into doing it as well due to a general shortage of supervisors. I was at today's exam when the chief supervisor, who also happens to be my mother, comes up to me with an unbelievable story. My sister, working at a different high school, was approached by one of the teachers asking for a copy of the psychology exam booklet. Here's the thing, teachers aren't allowed to ask for them. A supervisor must drop a copy off at the school's reception desk. I should know because I've done it every exam I worked. Later, another teacher turns up. You may notice the lack of quotation marks with this second teacher. That's because it is the school's only psychology teacher, who knew better than to ask for a copy of the book. This legitimate teacher showed up only at the end of the exam to see how her students went. I think those details were omitted due to the nature of the following information. It turns out the first teacher wasn't a teacher at all, but did work at the school. She was after a copy of the exam because her son was taking it and she wanted it for reasons. She's helping her son cheat this exam, I see.
Oh.
Even if she did obtain a copy, it would have been too late, as she wouldn't have been allowed into the exam hall to give her kids the answers. She had no way of contacting her son, as phones, smartwatches, and smart glasses were prohibited items not to be taken into the hall. Moreover, given the complex nature of some of the questions, I have a psychology degree. I have a psychology degree and was confused by some. She would have spent more time in researching the answers than the length of the exam. So even if she somehow mastered all of the intricacies of psychology in mere hours, it would have been pointless, particularly as there was no way she could have relayed the information as previously mentioned. Now, this woman's job is very much in jeopardy, and her son will likely receive an automatic fail, regardless of how well he performed. This blemish on his record will also likely follow him when he applies for any university. There are only 4 in our city, denying him the chance to do whatever it was he wanted. His mother's belief the rules didn't apply to her has effectively doomed her son, though she will likely never see it this way. Sorry I couldn't go into more detail, there's as much information as I received. Also, I have to leave for work. Farewell. Edited to add to all those asking how punishing the child can be justified, I'm under the impression of the proverbial sins of the mother will reflect on the son, but I will confirm tomorrow and update accordingly. Edit to add, it's tomorrow now, though a bit later than expected thanks for a virus hitting hard and fast. I checked with my source, but they could neither confirm nor deny repercussions for the son. The timing of the incident, i.e. once he had already entered the exam room, makes the chances of him getting a sneak peek seems to be minimal. So he has a chance, I just cannot say for certain one way or another. I know they take cheating accusations seriously. Kids aren't even allowed to have covers for their calculators attached, labels on their water bottles, or any form of writing on their person. I hope he gets off, but either way there's likely to be some awkward conversations with his mother. Honestly, I believe he shouldn't fail for his mother's actions, but like, what is her mindset for doing this? Like, you're really, like, just screwing over your son. He has a future, and by doing this, you could damage it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no reason to jeopardize your job and his future over some exam answers.
Yeah.
If he's taking this exam, it's on him to pass it. There is no buts, whats, or ifs. Entitled mom yelled at me for doing my job. Okay, this one should
Ooh.
be interesting. For context, I, 18 female, work at a coffee shop in a very small / very popular beach tourist town. I've been working there since March. The way that we make our coffee is that there are small and medium sizes. Gets 2 shots of espresso and the large has 4 shots. We do offer decaf espresso drinks. We have 4 stations when it comes to making the drinks. Cashier, cup prep / food runner, espresso, and mixer / server. Mixer / server was where I was working this day. Story, I'm working my usual busy shift during 4th of July week. As I was finishing up the entitled mother drinks. I was finishing up the entitled mother's drinks. She saw me pour 4 shots of espresso into one of her large drinks, and this was the conversation that happened after. She had ordered 2 large ice caramel macchiatos, 1 large latte with ice on the side, and 1 large hot Americano. Excuse me, how much espresso did you just put in that drink? Me, our large drinks come with 4 shots of espresso, ma'am. All of the larges have 4 shots of espresso? Shouldn't you advertise that shit somewhere? I'm a mother with 2 children and you expecting to drink basically 2 cups of coffee?
Oh boy.
Oh boy. I look behind her and see 2 young girls, probably aged 9 to 12. They had each ordered 2 large caramel macchiatos. I'm sorry, ma'am, do you want me to remake these and make these decaf so they don't have any caffeine in it? I don't know, this is your job. Can you just mix one of them and put it in a smaller cup? I mean, this is outrageous. How do you expect 2 little girls to finish 2 large coffees? I mean, this is completely insane. Are you fucking crazy? What a bitch. At this point, my shift lead, 18 female, who was standing next to me the whole time and had heard the whole entire conversation, asked if everything was alright. I tried to explain this situation, but the entitled mother cut me off and rants for a bit about how incompetent I am. We decided to do a 1 split of the caramel macchiatos just to appease her and get her moving because this commotion was making a line. I'm making her final drink. She's still staring at me like I'm the devil, and I say in a very nice customer service voice, "Have a nice day, ma'am." I still haven't gotten my final drink. She yells this directly in my face as her final drink is halfway in between me and her in my hand. At this point, I've gotten a little behind on my station I had to turn to finish that. She gathers her kids and her drinks and walks away. So in total, she had gotten 2 medium caramel macchiato, her large latte, her Americano, and she took the other large caramel macchiato that she had originally ordered, which is why she was angry in the first place. So instead of walking away with her original 4 drinks, she got 5 instead. I just find it funny and laughed with my shift lead while she was extremely pissed on my behalf. Lol. I just don't understand why she didn't ask for this when she was talking to the cashier. We have alternatives in smaller sizes. Oh boy.
Cashiers should be legally allowed to throw hands.
Oh man, agreed. I have a few coworkers at my place that would agree with that. Here's the thing, I don't think customers sometimes understand that things are done the way they are for specific reasons. I work in the food service industry and we are trained to do things in a specific way. Now customers have the opportunity to make special requests with the cashier beforehand, and they also have the opportunity to customize their orders. But if they're just ordering base items, we make base items the way that they are made.
Mm-hmm.
And I find it funny when people just can't comprehend that. Honestly, this woman's giving off so much Karen.
I know, right?
Oh, in short. My father ruined everything because he is reckless with his money. Okay, this one seems like it's going to be an interesting one. I think this is going to be our last story.
Alright.
I don't think I can hit rock bottom like this. Hello, I wanted to rant about why I have hit a rock bottom in my life right about now. Well, the majority of the cause is my father. My dear old father, being the ass he is, had invested money in real estate lands in a third world country to settle down. That also happens to be our motherland. I am a 20 female who have lived the entirety of my life in Gulf, and my father has crossed 27 years. I was born in Gulf and I love Gulf. Very much, honestly. I feel like Gulf is more of my homeland, but because of the Gulf treatment of expats and not giving citizenship where it is due, we are stuck in a place where we have to go back to our motherland since my father will be retiring. Here is the kicker. In our group of expats, usually they have a house that they have built or brought a house where they can settle into immediately, but my dear old ass of a father invested his money, lifetime's worth of money, about 60 million in real estate where 40 million money was robbed. Oh my god, we're talking about lots of money here.
Damn.
The money that sum was robbed by two people. One is a doctor who used to be my mom's classmate in medical school and his real estate agent. They lied the land prices to us and other legal documentation and processing of that land, and the registration process, leaving us with many of the land is still in the air because my father gave all that money in advance, and the documentation has not been entirely solid or is not done in our name due to travel issues and being outside of the country, leaving the lands not in our possession or anyone's, leaving it in the air. Also, this money was given to them in full cash, so there is nothing we can do to get it back, and there was no written legislation as he trusted this doctor so much, leaving us empty-handed. Okay, so gotta process this first paragraph real quick. So he's getting real estate in another country because you guys gotta move. And 60 million, but 40 million of it was robbed because they're scamming you.
Ooh.
My father, being the ass he is, zeroed his bank account despite me and my mom saying no multiple times and trying to reason with him into buying a house or building a house, and not to mention saying to him to give the money after the proceedings was done and the land in our hand. But no, he did not listen, leaving us in a messy nest, and with the doctor filing a case, which is false, saying we robbed his 40 million. Please, he did not even see that much money in his entire life. I want to make you people focus on a fact that this case filing is happening now, and the buying took place 4 years ago back then. My father is retiring in the coming 5 months. He wasted this money. Not to mention he is a Andrew Tate kind of guy, so he did not let my mom do her job either. Andrew Tate kind of guy. Oh my god, okay, that's a description and a half. So he is a sole earner. He won't let me do a job because he says that I have to be married to do a job. Now we are stuck in pandemonium, where we have nowhere to go, nowhere to stay. We can't even build a house at this rate and nothing can be done. We can't even buy an apartment or a ready-made house since we have zero money. We are living paycheck to paycheck and he won't even listen to us when we say we want to stay with our maternal grandma. He is not even agreeing to stay in the same town as her because his jackal of a father said the wife's side is always bad. I swear I want to curse him and chew him out. This stupid man has no idea that he is the sole bread maker of our family and understand that he ruined our lives and won't let others keep the money or property they have. He sold all my mother's property and now we are here. 40 million in the other's bank account. They have bought houses, cars, and whatnot by my father's money, and here I am thinking of not buying a $20 dish soap which is on discount. I hate my father. He won't even let me have a job. I can't go anywhere else or live alone because I am Eastern Asian, making my situation even worse because I have to depend on this mosshead to pay for my studies, my marriage, even day-to-day things, which is extremely annoying and embarrassing. I don't want to depend on him, and since I am studying and none of my degrees are finished, I'm doing 3 degrees, props on that, I can't even do a job. He says it's okay as it is the custom of my people, and the thing is, daughters have it much worse. He won't even let me get a part-time job so I could save up some money. Hell, he won't even let me learn to drive. As soon as I say I will be independent, he will do something in my life that I have to depend on his ass. I hate this man.
Good lord.
Oh man, so first off, this dad's stupid getting scammed like that, but also I think it's a fault of both sides with that. 'Cause if you're scamming people, you're just a piece of shit. There's no what's, buts, ifs, or about it.
Yep.
But he also just seems like an insecure type of guy. Like, that Andrew Tate description seemed very accurate.
Uh-huh.
Like, I must be the sole breadwinner. You can't work. I provide for this family. But at the end of the day...
Very controlling, misogynistic type of dad.
Yeah, like, at the end of the day, you're pulling your family down into poverty. You have an opportunity to let other people work and lift you guys back up from a state you were once in, but just seems like a combination of bad decisions, insecurities, and misogyny, honestly.
Yeah.
But with that anger out of the way, guys, I hope this video pissed you off as much as it did us. If you liked the content you saw here today, it would be awesome if you left a like. Maybe left a comment about what was your favorite story or how much this video has made you angry. And hey, it'd be awesome if you even left a subscribe. And with that out of the way, it'd be awesome if you checked out my other content. And have a wonderful day.